What has it meant to you winning these rallies this year?
Well, I think you can imagine the last time that we won as M Sport, and with the Fiesta was 2012, Rally GB. And then of course the day after that was probably one of the worst days in my life, business-wise and sporting-wise, because that's when Ford decided to withdraw. So we've had obviously a few lean years, but obviously we still had fantastic fun in developing young drivers like Ott and Elfyn like that. But then I suppose the icing on the cake to get Sebastian, and then you see the way that Ott and Elfyn have been driving this year as well. It's just made us one of the strongest teams out there. 3 events to go, a lot of pressure on the last 3, but yeah, it's just great to get back on the top step of the podium again.
I'm going to have to try and claim a bit of the glory for the Ogier thing, because we spoke in the rally forum, and basically you were both blowing hot air up each other's asses, weren't you, really? You of his and him of yours, and I thought, well, there's only one thing that can happen here, is you guys need to hook up and get together. And then there was the big announcement about the Volkswagen pulling out, and you seized the opportunity. Cost you a fortune. Probably most people, I wouldn't have thought the bank would have lent you the money on that risk, but the banker Wilson was able to pull it off. And you're just looking back at it now thinking, what a fantastic thing you've done. Because it's raised the profile of the team, it's just raised everybody's game. It's interesting talking to Ott, you know, it's just everything is just, everybody's got sharper, and you won the first rally.
Yeah, it's a long story. Thanks for putting a nail in the coffin with VW to give us the opportunity to get Sebastian. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. I mean, I tried to get Sebastian back in 2010, 2011, and you know, when VW withdrew, then that was my sole target, to try and get him on board. And yeah, I said, whatever happens, I really want to do it for 12 months. It's a big risk for us, for the company, but I think we've already discussed that, you know, the benefits that it's brought to the team, as I've seen a big difference in Ott and Elfyn, and the, you know, the attention to detail, the professionalism that Sebastian and Julian have actually brought has made everybody in the team raise their game. We all knew, I still believe, that we had the people back in M Sport to be able to do the job, which again we've been proved right. But I think the big thing for me was as well the new car. I felt that this was the best car that M Sport had ever designed, developed and built. So I had great confidence in what the team had developed. So again, that gave me the confidence to go for Sebastian. Okay, I wanted him to drive the car to make sure that he was happy with it. I didn't want him just coming to us if he wasn't comfortable in the car. So we did the test in Wales, and after that he sort of proclaimed himself to be very happy. And then the difficult part of it started with the negotiation. But we got there in the end. Who knows what will happen in the future, but let's see. Let's just hope that we can continue the success that we've had on the final 3 events this year.
Because it goes without saying, you're not as lucky as your teammates. You are the boss at M Sport. You have to control the whole thing. You have to manage the finances, you have to manage the project. And I guess if you've got a company behind you, a manufacturer, it's easy. You've got somewhat of an endless budget. You don't have that pleasure. So how difficult is it for you to manage the whole thing? It's obviously not an easy job, because Tony Mackina's going through a similar problem now with the Toyota team. It's obviously very difficult, but something you do cleverly, but very well.
Yeah, but I think you've got to remember is that, you know, we've been around nearly 20 years now, running the Ford team, and of course what has happened in all those years is we've built up a fantastic customer business. And to be honest, without the success of, as an example, the R5 car, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We wouldn't be able to compete at the highest level. And of course, with that success, that then enabled us to sign Ogier for this year. I have to say that, you know, unless things change, there's no way that we'll be able to do it next year, because I have to think about the future of my 260, 270 staff up in Dublin, plus the 40 people that we have in Poland. So yeah, there's pressure on all around, basically. But as I said, I made the decision to go for it this year. because it is our shop window for everything that we do, and I must admit the support and everything that we've gained this year is just quite unbelievable.
Is the facility you've got up there in Dundee is fantastic. You're developing that into a sort of world-class automotive development centre. How is that project coming along? Is that nearing completion then?
Yeah, exciting times. We're big investment in a 2.6 kilometre test track facility, which is now to the point where the tarmac is down. So the next project is now to put the building, which is a new 10,000 square metre manufacturing facility. We want to basically make more and more products and everything in-house. So we're looking to expand the manufacturing side. But yes, the big side will be the test facility. The idea is hopefully that we will get manufacturers come in to test the vehicles there. We can be a one-stop shop for them testing. Plus, obviously, if they need any facilities, then everything is on site. Composites, machining, fabrication, electronics design, engineering. And then, of course, what we've got as well is the added advantage is that the added security of the test track facility. In principle, it's sort of qualified as prototype status, which means a manufacturer will be able to bring a car without having to disguise it, and there's nowhere else in the UK where you can do that. So hopefully that will lead on to a lot of other work for the company.
And what's the turnkey for that? When is that hopefully up and running?
I think to be fully operational in a way that we want it, we're still 12 or 18 months away.
That's incredible that you're busy doing that. You're also busy with the Bentley team, but you're still 100% behind this World Rally team as well. You're there on every event. You're there at every service. Where do you find the energy? Where does it all come from? Where's the enthusiasm? Obviously, winning these rallies this year must have spurred you on then.
Yeah, it does, but I think whatever happens, as I said earlier, even if we can't retain the drivers that we've got next year because we're not in a financial position to do it, it's not to say that that I won't be going on every rally next year. I intend to do that. I think there's only 3 rallies I've missed in the whole time since 1997 World events. They were for good reasons. Obviously, I didn't have a foot to walk on at one point. So
I think you had to go home from Japan one year because the shit hit the fan, so to speak.
Yeah, but I did go to Japan.
You went to Japan, yeah. You went to Japan, you got off the plane, and then you got back on another plane.
Yeah, that was another difficult period because that was again at the point where Ford had sort of decided to withdraw. But so I felt it was important to get back and try and resurrect the commitment back to continue in WRC, which I managed to do. So I'm glad that I did do the quick turnaround in Japan to get back.
Has the success this year at all embarrassed Ford into giving you some more support for next year, or are you still in negotiations?
We're still in negotiation, but I think we need to make it very clear we couldn't do what we do without Ford. At the end of the day, we need Ford to homologate the car. We need some of the technical supports and the backup, and I think it lets you know how much support we still get in the fact that on Monte Carlo we were running the new Fiesta, which really hadn't even been launched to the public to buy. So that tells you that we've still got a very good technical working relationship. We just need to find a way now to
tap into the bank of Ford.
Tap into the bank of Ford, yeah.
And the negotiations are still going, so it's not closed in any way. There's still a possibility.
No, we're working. Obviously we're still doing the official Rallycross program with them, which is an official program. We're still discussing various options and how we can move forward. But unfortunately, I haven't got anything I can report these days, as much as I'd like to.
What about the R5 program then? How many R5s have you built now, Fiesta R5s? Where are we up to on that? Because you've got a brilliant ladder opportunity in M Sport.
Yeah, I think we were building chassis 239 or 240 this week. So yeah, that's been a huge success for the company, and obviously it's been a great formula. Personally, I think it's the best formula that the FIA have ever come up with. If you look how many cars we've sold, Skoda, Peugeot, Citroën, now you've got Hyundai. It's becoming a very, very popular formula.
And as a chap team manager, what's your vision, what's your idea now for the next couple of years? stability, we need to continue with these cars as they are, we need to make the rallies safer. But from a team manager's point of view, what's the most important factor to create success in the World Championship and globally in rallying?
I think we've had a fantastic start with the new car. I think that again the new technical regulations. I really felt that some manufacturer would get a jump on everybody else with it being a complete new car for all the manufacturers. But I think that just goes to show that the way that the technical guys from all the teams, the FIA, have been working together to come up with such a good formula where everybody is just so evenly matched. And I think the great thing as well is that the cars. I think the cars look sexy. I think they create emotion. So I think we've got a great platform to go forward on. So the key for me is stability, which we need that for the next 2 or 3 years. But who knows where we need to go after that. But I think it's the first time that I think rallying's getting back to where it was in the Group B era in the mid-80s.
Rallying generally is quite strong. You've got the WRC with 4 manufacturers. You've got the lower, the R5. Then you work down to the R2 and the R3. There's a good structure there now. It just needs a little bit of a boost in somewhere, and I don't know what the answer is there.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is because if you look at the support for rallying, as an example, if you look at a BTRD event now, probably 3-4 years ago, there'd probably be 3 or 4 cars that were £150,000 each. If you go now to a BTRD event, there's at least 20 cars that are well in excess of £100,000. So the sport is really popular, but for some reason it's not getting the recognition that I think that it deserves.
Malcolm, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thanks for giving up your time. I'm going to ask you a few quick silly questions. Who's your hero?
Walter Rowe.
Walter Rowe. Now there's an interesting one. Why Walter?
I think Walter was probably like a computer. It's as if he programmed himself to target specific rallies, and if he targeted himself to do that, then you'd be a fool not to bet on him. But I think the great thing was he was so clever and so good that it wouldn't happen in this day and age, but he could sort of dictate to the manufacturers which events he wanted to do. And he was just...
The modern day Walter Rowe would be a nightmare for you.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the easiest guy to manage, that's for sure.
Favourite stage?
Drummond Hill in Scotland.
Drummond Hill, another interesting one. What was the other one? Oh, favourite car?
There only is one car. Mark II Escort.
Yes, that was a surprise for me. I thought we were going to get Quattro, Focus, Fiesta, Mark II Escort. Fantastic. Pasta or rice?
Pasta.
And I know the answer to the next question. It's neither vodka or gin. It's red wine.
It's all colours of white.
Oh.